I found out my wife cheated and my kids aren't mine. I reacted in the worst possible way. Not to make the story too long, I, 35M, found out that my wife, 33F, cheated and the kids, 3F and 2M, we aren't mine. It all started when I was getting ready to go home after work when my friend Trevor, 28M, gave me a paternity test kit after Christmas. I was sorta taken aback at the present, but I had to put on a smile to not look like a total dick. I asked him what was up, and that's when Trevor told me that something was off about my wife, as he saw her recently at a restaurant when she was on a work trip. Coincidentally, Trevor happened to drive by the restaurant my wife was at when he was driving by to see his father that had recently went to the hospital after falling down a flight of stairs when he was on his way to work, and Trevor, who was waiting for the light to turn green, said he saw my wife holding hands with a man in suit who I assume is her boss. Trevor mentioned that my wife was being flirty and happened to see her getting a bit too touchy with the man before he drove off. I of course laughed and told Trevor that couldn't possibly happen because she wasn't that type of person, but Trevor had a seriously look to which made me question myself a bit, but to prove that Trevor was wrong I decided to get my kids tested to prove she is loyal, because there is no way I'm believing him without proof, despite me and him being friends since childhood and my wife and I had no problems before. I got the results back a couple weeks later from the hospital because I thought that maybe a paternity test wasn't 100% reliable and my wife was home at the time the results came back. I opened the letter and my heart shattered into a million fucking pieces as I saw that my kids were not mine, and for the first time in my life I yelled at my wife, to which startled her and the kids as she came running out to see if I was alright. She saw the tears in my eyes as I showed her the paternity test results and she looked like she had seen a ghost. I yelled at her at the top of my lungs and wanted an explanation as she started the waterworks, saying she could explain, and the whole cheater's excuse bullshit with the phrase it was a mistake. But I wasn't moved at all. I saw she put down her phone, which was still open. I ran towards her phone, grabbed it, and locked myself in the bathroom as she was banging on the door with her pleading. I opened her phone and saw around 47 messages of them sexting, saying crap about me, sending explicit photos, talking crap about his wife, and the message about her saying she would pass of his kids as mine. I was on the verge of exploding but had to remain calm and took photos. As I collected evidence, I got out and showed her the phone and told her that I was leaving and letting her boss's wife know about the affair, and my wife, who was scrambling to find the words to say, pulled my arm saying we can work things out. I told her she was gonna have to tell her boss's wife about the affair, and she backed up a little, saying in a low-toned voice, no, I can't do this to him. She looked at me as she saw my very enraged voice that without thinking I slapped her extremely hard that she fell on the ground. The moment she said that I knew it was over, I left without much other than my car and immediately contacted her boss's wife through Facebook, and I sent her the evidence I collected and I'm waiting for a response. Meanwhile, my phone later that day was being bombarded with messages from my soon-to-be ex-wife with her apologies and excuses. I don't know what to fucking do. I loved her so fucking much and she decided to cheat me.